there's a lot of amazing professionals that I appreciate. Again, in some places where I didn't anticipate, but they were there, the English teachers and the librarians.
They really draw out of you, this connects to your life, let's talk about this, let's have a two-way discussion instead of just like a lecture.
As a student who is both visually and hearing impaired, on-campus preparation can be a bit complicated. When I met with Professor Piscatelli, he didn't just ignore me.
Before I came to FSCJ, I was at a different university and I didn't do well. It wasn't for me. I was a major hopper. I was nursing, social work, law. I was all over the place. And then I took business law and ethics with Dr. Harvey Slentz and human resources management with Willie Williams. Those two classes together, those professors inadvertently helped me decide what I wanted to do.
But she doesn't expect you to get the right answer. She just wants you to make the attempt. That right there is a kind of teaching style that's encouraging, because a lot of us become afraid of doing a problem because we won't get it right.
The teachers from the moment I started were phenomenal. They put their interest in the student. If you don't know what the question is or the answer, they sit with you, they make that time and they explain it.
And he said, be creative with it. And I was like, oh wow, be creative with it. Well, that's kind of neat, because a lot of our teachers are kind of just like, it's supposed to be structured like this and structured like this, and you don't have a lot of wiggle room. I think it gave me a lot of confidence in myself to know that I could do something on my own without having those guidelines.
Coming into college, I never really expected to have service learning or community service as a part of the curriculum for a class, to actually having to do it. I believe it teaches you to be, not to just think about yourself, that there are other things out there, and being able to afford your time, effort, and services to whoever it is that needs that help is a learning experience, a growing experience.
It puts learning in a new, a more personal level, where you're able to apply. It's hard to apply an essay, a lesson about how to write an essay to real life, but being able to take a real life scenario and apply what you've learned in school to that, it puts it closer to home. It makes that lesson really stick more. It makes you more proud of what you're writing.
Donating to Soul Hope, it really related to the other stuff that we did in the class, as far as the novels we had to read, the memoirs and the stories of people that really went through some hard times in different countries, and that kind of like made it that much more real, that you can actually do something.
I definitely appreciate that we had to go out and do things like that, and my teachers encourage us to get up and actually go out and network and do what we have to do to be successful.
This was the very first time ever that I was able to open up with my poetry. I've never opened up with my poetry for anything, for anyone, for no class. But when Dr. Hendrickson came to me and presented me with the opportunity, I really couldn't turn that down.
Well, I definitely think that the professors at FSCJ have prepared me for going out into the real world. Their support was incredible. They were happy to have me as a non-traditional age student.
When I had those discussions with my professor after class every day, there was a point where graduate school came up, which is something I'd never thought about before. That became kind of a dream for me, to get to a new level of education.
She had exercises that got me involved with the other students that would help me learn things, learning with the students and interacting with the students, rather than just lecturing me or telling me to read something out of a book and figuring it out on my own. She provided specific things to make the students interact with each other, and it was great. I definitely have what it takes to get to the next level in my education.